Okay. Versatile Vigilante, Young Vince, Uncle Vinny. It's time for a solo episode, man. November 2023. It's the fourth quarter. It's been a little bit of time. Let's go. Let's get right into it, man. Okay, so what I've been thinking about, and there's been a ton of shit that's gone on in the last couple of months, but you know what? Let's stay focused on one thing, not one thing, but let's get focused on what I want to talk about. And it's been something that I've talked about and thought to myself and practiced and just tried to live my life this way, especially over the last few years of my life. It's really about just confirming to myself that I have a lot of power. I have all the power that I need because I make my choices. I do, I do believe in that. I know there's that philosophical argument, is free will really a thing? Are we truly free? Yeah, we're definitely heavily restricted in terms of, we can't just do anything. But in terms of our mind, we really can make any decision we want. I just don't think that a victim narrative or a mentality of if this didn't happen, I would have been here, or this fucked me, this situation fucked me, this person fucked me. I just don't think it's a good mentality to have, man. The reason I feel that way is because you're giving someone else or something else a lot of power over you, and it's easy for me to say, but also I live a life too, and I've had situations come up where I felt I wasn't treated fairly, or some bullshit happened, and I was very salty. I've been very salty about a lot of shit. I'm a human, and as I've gotten older, I've just realized a little bit more that if let's say, for example, I get a great opportunity and it doesn't end up happening, and I blame someone for that opportunity not happening. It makes no sense, man. It makes no sense, because not everything comes to fruition. The stuff that does come to fruition, are you going to give all the credit to someone else? No. So when something goes poorly, why would you give all the blame to someone else? And I just think it's one of those things where when you rely on someone, when you put everything you have into something or something else, it's important to remember that they don't see things the way you see it. No one other than you knows what you're thinking. And it's, to me, one of those constant reminders of every single choice that we make is a choice that we make, man. We can't blame someone else. If someone convinces me to do something and I do it and it doesn't work out, I can't blame someone for that. I can't do it, even if they really convinced me, because it's my choice at the end of the day. For something bad, that if something bad happens and I blame someone else, that's not fair. That's not fair to me, and it's not fair to them, because now I'm giving them a lot of power over me, and I'm wanting them to think that they fucked my life up. And that's never true, man. Every decision that we make is our own decision, no matter what someone tells you, Brian. In this current, I don't know, in this current climate, I see it as like a trait in a lot of people, a lot of situations, where there's always a hero and there's always a villain. And I just don't really believe in that, man. I think life is just so wild that shit does happen. And for me, it helps me think that way, because it gives me the power to do what I need to do. And what I need to do is just live every day and be in the moment through all this shit. And cliche gang, I know. Everything that I've said, I've probably said it before. And everything I say, it probably sounds like a cliche. But it's all fucking real shit, man. To me, success is defined by, did you keep your morals? Did you keep your principles? Did you do what you wanted to do? Did you try your best? Did you put your best foot forward? And did you trust yourself? If you did that, you are successful, man. If you just hang on to someone's coattails and try to ride a wave and try to hop on to someone else, you can be a fucking billionaire. It's not going to be that fulfilling, because you didn't push the button yourself. You didn't do your shit yourself. You let someone else do it for you. And with that, I think can bring a lot of bitterness too, man. very common thing that I've seen in my life is, especially when I'm talking to like people older than me, people that I've looked up to that I think have strong morals, strong foundation, have done good shit, have built something for themselves and for their family. A common quality I see in those types of people is they take responsibility for their actions and they take responsibility in general. You know, it's one of those things where if things go poorly, I made that decision. I take the hits, and you know, let's learn and let's move on from it. Let's not just dive in a black hole. Let's lick our wounds, move on from that, and go do something else. When something good happens, awesome, great. That's part of the process. Let's stay humble and let's keep doing the next shit. You know. And I just think it's a good mentality to have, you know, of just I don't want to blame anybody. I don't need to give anyone unnecessary blame. I don't really need to give them unnecessary credit either, man, because I just want to do what I want to do at the end of the day. And I think it could be seen as selfish, but hey, man, I've learned that too. For me to be a good friend, a good anything, a good person to be around, I got to take care of myself, number one, man. It's got to be my interests have to come first. My safety, my health, all this shit has to come first. And it sounds like, oh, that's a selfish way to think, but in my opinion, it's selfish to give yourself away to so many different things, so many different people, because what's the point of that, man? You wear yourself so thin. And I think it's one of those things of constant, like just constant doing is not always progress. You know, I think it can clog up what you're doing in the present. You're so focused on the next step, so focused on the next step that maybe we ignore what we're currently doing. Then look what happens. You're in a bad spot because you weren't on point with everything you do. And I think that's kind of an overwhelming, sometimes it can be overwhelming to think about, geez, every move I make is a move that I make. Like no one can make a decision for me. I'm a grown man, you know, and I think that can be crazy sometimes to think about how you have to make every decision. Every decision is yours. Your life is yours. And I also think that's a very freeing and powerful thing because it doesn't put my life in anyone else's hands, man. I can't rely on someone else to hold me down. I can't rely on someone else to protect me. I can't rely on someone else to really do anything for me. If someone is willing to help, that's amazing. But I need to be number one in my life because who else is going to do it? And I think it's true to anybody, man. It's not selfish to take care of yourself and do what's best for you. You can't give yourself to everything and everyone. You got to be the best you can be in terms of holding yourself down, doing what you want to do, making decisions for yourself because you're a person first. We're all entitled to our own lives. If someone wants you to be a crutch for them, you don't have to do it. There's always that power of no, you know, and you can't expect someone else to be a crutch for you. If you have a bad day, you can't just rely on someone else to fix it for you or make you feel better. You gotta be strong, man. You gotta be strong in this world. If you're waiting for someone to come save you, I don't think it's gonna happen. And that's one thing that I see people do that from afar. I'm like, I don't know, man. When we're just waiting on a big win or waiting on something to happen, expecting that to solve all our problems, it's not going to happen. That's not the way that works, man. One big win, one big event, one big anything, one big loss, one big anything can't have that much of an impact on us, man, because we're living every single day. Every single day, there's a next moment. There's a next moment. There's a next moment. We can't always be waiting. Like something that I hear a lot too, and I'm guilty of it. I just have to get through this next week, or I just have to get through this next couple of weeks. Yo, that's a crazy thing to say, man, because that's your life. Like you're living, you're in that moment. I got to get through it. What the fuck does that even mean, man? Because other situations are going to come up that are going to be stressful too, or tough to deal with. And it's always like, oh, we just got to get through it. Got to get through it. When does that stop though, man? When do we start to enjoy our actual lives? Like when do we start to realize hey man, we're literally alive. Like that's pretty fucking nuts. You know, why does it always have to be, oh, I'm just waiting for this to happen. I'm just waiting for this to happen. Once I get through this will be good. I don't really think that's a healthy way of living, and I've dealt with that a lot myself too, because we're just, I think, wasting time, man. Like, why not enjoy what we're currently doing, or make, at least make the most out of it, have as much fun with it as we can, because the moment's going to be over anyway. Let's enjoy it. You got to do it anyway. Let's enjoy it. It's just old cliches, but fuck, man, it's always been true. It's a common thought in sports. I hear athletes say this a lot, where it's like, we beat ourselves. We beat ourselves. And I think that can be applied to life too, man. I think that I really do feel that if you trust yourself and you understand that you're capable and you're willing to put in the time and work to improve, you can achieve what you're trying to achieve, man. I think a lot of the times we think we gotta be like more than what we actually are. Fuck that. You'll get there by doing. You'll get there by experience. I've talked about this in the past, and I'm gonna repeat it. I don't think growth is just from being bigger all the time. I don't think growth is by just being more eccentric, more out there. Like, you know, I think growth is, you have a situation that you live through, you learn from it, and you keep going. And you keep going, and you keep learning, and you keep experiencing things, and you keep you keep fucking going, bro. You keep going. I think that's what growth is. I really just think if you keep going with a strong mindset and morals and principles, where, you know what, I'm not going to fuck anybody over. I'm not going to ask anyone for anything out of the ordinary. I'm just going to focus on what I got to focus on and enjoy my life. I think that's when growth comes, man. I think growth comes when you realize you have a lot of power in your life. You have all the decisions that you can possibly make, you can make. You know, I think, what's the point of not enjoying it, man? What's the point? We're doing it. We're here. Don't be scared about that. There's no pressure. There's no pressure. Like any external pressure. Yo, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I've learned that. Like, not every decision that I make is going to be someone else's favorite decision. You know, I've learned that. I used to feel very guilty about that. I used to feel very guilty when I would do something and someone else didn't like it, even if it was a decision I felt was for the best. I would feel bad about it. I can't do that anymore, man. I can't feel bad because someone disagrees with my decision, because I don't do what someone else wants me to do. I can't feel bad about that, because I got to think of myself first. I got to put myself first, man. I can't be a good friend. I can't be a good person to be around if I don't take care of myself first. And I've learned that, man. It's not about how much fucking clout you have. It's not about how much, you know, if Versatile Vigilante was $1 billion company, I would still have to put the time in to work as a person, man, and to do good things. Becoming that billionaire doesn't do anything for my soul, you know. It's a great thing, but my life doesn't end. Like, it's not like if you make $1 billion, you've achieved a certain thing in life where now you don't have to have struggle anymore. You don't have to have challenge anymore. That's not true at all, man. You've answered one thing about maybe your finances, but yo, challenges will come up every single day, because we're supposed to challenge ourselves. We're supposed to keep going and moving forward, because that's how we get better, by continuing to go, continuing to do it, man. Keep that thought where I have the power in my life to make decisions. You know, I can't put pressure. I can't put pressure on myself because other people want to pressure me. Like, it's stupid. It's all up to us, man. It's really all up to us. And I don't know, man. I don't know. Every time I put out an episode, I don't know how people will feel about it. I don't know if I'm making any sense, because I really don't write much down. I have some notes and shit like that, but I I just say what I've been thinking about, and sometimes I don't know if it makes any sense, but I gotta put it out anyway because it's what I feel. It's what I feel, man. I just feel success just can't be based on only accomplishments, in my opinion. Like, I just think success, there's so much other stuff that can't be measured. Like, how is there a measurement for if you're an honest person, if you have principles? There's no measurement for that. Being an honest man, being a good person, you don't get $1 billion just by doing that. But there's something to be said for doing that. There's something to be said for just being a positive influence, trying your best, doing things that you think will help move you forward, help become a better person. There's something to be said for that, man. I think we're measuring way too much right now. I think there's way too many metrics and like stats, and I've talked about this a lot, but I still truly feel that way of just holding it down, being somebody that has strong principles, has beliefs, has morals, someone that actually doesn't want to blame anybody else, doesn't expect anything from anybody else. I think there's value to that, man. And I see a lot of great people that maybe aren't the biggest self promoters. I don't know. I think myself of that too sometimes. And it's like, yo, man, I don't have to promote everything I do. Just keep doing it. Just keep going, man. I don't think there's this need of constant approval or anything like that, or constant guilt. Like, there's no reason to feel that way, because a moment's coming, a moment's gone, Holy fuck, man. I don't know how this episode's gonna go, but I'm gonna put it out. I like this fucking jersey. So yeah, man, honestly, I just feel like fearing the future means you're just doubting yourself, Everyone is going to have bad stuff come up in their lives. Yo, it is what it is. Fearing the future, I think it just takes away power from ourselves, because the decisions that we make could build a nice future. You can't control everything. It's impossible to predict what happens. There's a lot of random shit in life. But I think that if you keep strong principles, strong morals, you keep going, I think you're going to set yourself up for a nice future. I think when we speed and make rash decisions, that fucks us up in the present, and that in turn fucks up the future. So I do think there is a big part of that to life, where you just keep a strong set of morals and principles, whatever those might be, but standing for something. I think step by step, you'll put a nice life together for yourself. Just takes time. That's what I think. That's what I believe in. That's what I live by, because I don't think success is measurable. I don't think success is an amount of money or anything like that. I truly think success is enjoying what you currently have, staying in that moment, and continuing to try and continuing to put effort in. I think that's what success is, man, where you enjoy where you currently are, you keep working, you keep doing your thing, and slowly but surely you're moving, man. You're moving forward, as opposed to, just being unhappy with where you are in life, developing bitterness and blaming others for your failures. Where's that going to get you, man? That's not going to get you fucking forward, that's for sure. So, I don't know, man. We have a lot of power. We have a lot of decision making to do. It can be a lot, but it's also a great thing. It shows the amount of adventure that's possible. It shows the amount of options and opportunities that are out there. If you achieve it, it makes that much sweeter, So that's kind of what I wanted to say. Very all over the place episode, man. But yo, anyone that watches these, I really do appreciate it. Sticking with the gang. I do this just for, little therapy session. Also, so I could wear some new fly ass headless clothing. Man, anyone wants to send me some clothes, feel free. I always enjoy a free shirt or something. But man, shout out to everybody. 2023 coming to an end. 2024 got a lot of crazy shit coming up. Fuck, man. Versatile Vigilante, Young Vince, Uncle Vinny. We're out here. Keep it moving. Free Max Bigavell. Let's fucking get it, bro.